Hey, welcome back to another episode of Thursday Tunes. Today I'm just going to very briefly talk about recent events dealing with Kanye in the news, those being like his very, uh, not sporadic, but seemingly subjectless or motivationless tweets recently, tweeting about a wide topic, a wide variety of things that you can go and look more into. His declaration that he was running for president in 2020, then not running for president, and then holding the campaign rally, which had some very interesting commentary that he made during his campaign rally. So I'm not going to go specifically into like the things he said, but I'm going to talk more about the moment and how people are choosing to react to it. So if you remember, I had the video, which many of you may not have watched, just due to it being 45 minutes long. But I had the video where I talked about kind of mental health and music, specifically referencing Nina Simone, Kanye, and even though I'm not aware of any mental health concerns dealing with Lauryn Hill, I speculated about it given a pattern of behavior and kind of her music. But uh, I talked about that, and I think it's relevant again now because this is a person who Kanye West, who was like risen to this like worldwide presence, and he has been very open about being diagnosed with being bipolar, and despite that openness, I think people still kind of refuse to uh, use that to contextualize his present behavior. Uh, Specifically, people are saying like he's only doing these things to promote a new album that's coming out, which may or may not be true. Uh, but yeah, they like basically are saying like stop paying attention to him. He's just doing this for attention. And I think that type of response is irresponsible because it completely uh, neglects the role that his bipolar disorder plays in his decision making. Uh, and I'll give a like a not a personal example, but an example that I've had kind of experience with. There's someone that I know who is bipolar. Uh, I mean, I don't know this person really well, but like we know each other. And a couple years ago on Facebook, they like started randomly posting a bunch of pictures and like screen caps of that's my cat scratching over there, of screen caps of like messages that people sent them like from, and these messages were like from years ago, and like it was like there was no, it was like there's clearly like no connection between all this stuff that they were just posting constantly. And then like so in the moment I was like, what the hell is happening? Like why is this person doing this? And at the time I don't think I knew they were bipolar, or maybe I did. uh, but later on they like posted something like, yeah, my the medication I was taking uh like just wasn't working as effectively, and I had a manic episode, and like I'm in the hospital now and everything's doing fine. And so I bring that up to talk about once again, like I think if people like maybe like actually cared about mental health and people who are bipolar, you would see like the stuff that Kanye's doing, where he goes on Twitter and like just is constantly posting tweets and like random pictures or like saying random stuff. I think people would be able to actually understand that that's a person who's going through a manic episode, and they're not necessarily doing this to promote their upcoming album. It's someone who like has a real, who's experiencing a health crisis, but because they're a celebrity, because they have access to this huge public platform, they like these manic episodes aren't just confined to their little bubble, they're amplified around the world. And then you have someone like Kanye who already has a massive ego, who may be narcissistic, uh, but all of that feeds in to kind of create this monster that gets released into the public, and people only see like the creation. They only see Frankenstein's monster, and they don't see Frankenstein, and they don't recognize that this guy needs help. So it's like actually really sad that people are using this moment to like demean this person when they're doing a lot of these things not in their best state of mind. And it's even worse that he doesn't help himself. Like he talks about how when he's making music, he doesn't take his medication because it makes him feel like he's a different person, which probably is true. Like I've never taken any medication for a mental health issue, so I don't know how it alters your sense of self. And as far as I know, he got diagnosed and started taking medication for bipolar disorder in 2016, which means he lived all of his life up until that point without understanding that about himself. So his sense of normal is very different from like what his normal brain chemistry should be. So it makes perfect sense that he doesn't feel like he's normal when he's taking his medication. But because he is somewhat cavalier about his own mental health, it makes it much easier for the general public to be very cavalier about it and to be dismissive of it and to not actually take these things seriously. So it's unfortunate that people aren't kind of taking his pattern of behavior as, in some ways, like a cry for help and as as a kind of a public call for action to help him, and they're just taking it as a time to ridicule him, which is just very unfortunate. So hopefully you all are able to be genuine about your concerns about public health, as many people claim to be in this present day, where everyone's like, oh, we have to be aware for all of these issues dealing with mental health, but they don't. I feel like they don't actualize those things into their real life and actually try and be critical about them and try and help people. It's more of a, you say it because it's something that everyone else is saying, and all of this shouldn't be taken to excuse anything that he has done or said that's offensive. But I think it's important to keep it in context, because without that context, we lose a lot of how we interpret things. So that's it for now. Just stay safe, keep watching, keep doing you, and always look on the bright side of life. A little Monty Python for you. Peace.